Off the Cuff is supported by Patreon. Join today and become an honorary producer and get in-show credit on every episode. Hola a todos. Bienvenido a Fuerte del Manguito. Sí, habla español. Sí, I was speaking Spanish. No, I don't know any more Spanish. Sí, I'm reading off a card that's right under the camera. Yeah, now you might be wondering, why am I speaking Spanish? Well, that's because today, Off the Cuff, goes Mexican! I became a real fan of Mexican food when I moved out to California back in 2001. The Mexican food out here is absolutely fantastic, and from what I hear, it's also really great in Texas as well. So I've been hesitant to do Mexican dishes here on Off the Cuff because the bar is pretty high. But today, I'm actually going after one of the top Mexican dishes. Today I'm doing my Off the Cuff twist on enchiladas. And this is off the cuff, so it's not just enchiladas, it's low carb enchiladas. And it's not just low carb enchiladas, it's low carb shrimp enchiladas. Oh, I love shrimp. That's a marriage there that I really can dig. Also, I'm making my own homemade low carb tortillas from scratch. So this show has it all. The bar is pretty high, but I think I'm ready for the challenge. So, are you ready to get going? Okay. Hey, you know what? I was just watching a rerun of Bewitched. Let's go to my next segment like this. And like magic, I'm here. I love Mexican food, and now I'm going to try to attempt to make authentic enchiladas, but low carb, off the cuff style.
Stop! Stop everything.
Well, wait a minute. I'm making my show here, so.
Are you Craig Mitchell?
I am. Who are you?
I'm Agent Alonso, Mexican Intelligence Uno, or MI1.
Wow, you're all of that?
Did I just hear you say you're going to attempt to make authentic Mexican food?
Well, I mean...
You don't want to lie to an official of the Mexican government now, do you?
Well, I'm going to try to be as authentic as possible, for my cooking show.
Well, what are you going to make?
Shrimp enchiladas with homemade low-carb tortillas.
Homemade?
Yeah.
Wow. That is very impressive.
Well, I mean, I know my way around a kitchen.
This is a kitchen.
Why does everybody say that?
So how are you going to make your dish authentic?
How am I...
What is this you're wearing?
Oh, this is my off-the-cuff chef's coat.
If you're going to cook authentic, this is not going to work.
But I wear this in every show.
Not today.
What?
If you want to cook authentic, you have to be authentic.
Oh, I do want to be authentic. All right, here goes. Well, I hope it fits.
Yeah, it doubles as a car cover.
Very funny. Very funny. Whoop. Wait a minute. I think you gave me the wrong bag here.
Oh no, I gave you the right bag.
Oh, I can't wear this.
If you want to cook authentic, you do.
This doesn't feel right.
I'm an agent of the Mexican government. Trust me.
All right.
Are you ready yet?
No. Yes.
Vamos.
I believe I'm doing it.
Now that's authentic.
I feel like the Frito Bandito.
You're ready to cook Mexican.
Why do I have maracas? I feel very culturally insensitive.
You're fine. Posting a picture of a jar of mayonnaise in your sink on Cinco de Mayo? That's culturally offensive.
That's just in there to defrost, so...
All you need now is a bigger mustache.
Wait a minute, what's going on here? Who are you? Let me see your badge.
Badges? I don't need to show you no stinking badges.
All right, that's it. Who are you really?
You've been pranked.
Pranked.
Compliments of your roommate, Joey Gaynor. And I am not Agent Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso, that's my favorite New York Met player. Nice touch.
My name is Frank, and you have been pranked by Frank. And if you want to get back at your ex-roommate, you want to prank him, you just give me a call. And here is my card.
Oh, thanks. I'll be calling you, that's for sure.
And I am Mexican.
Oh.
And all of this
Yeah.
is offensive.
Oh.
Get rid of it.
Okay.
Adios.
Okay. Adios. Adios. Amigo. Well, here are the ingredients. Okay. Alrighty then, it's ingredient time. First up, for the shrimp enchiladas, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1/2 cup each of diced red bell pepper and diced white onion, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 pound of shrimp, raw or cooked, 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/4 cup fresh chopped cilantro, and 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Now for the enchilada sauce, 1 cup of salsa verde, 1 cup heavy cream, 1 cup shredded Monterey Jack cheese, and finally for the low-carb tortillas, 1 cup coconut flour, 4 tablespoons psyllium husk, not the psyllium husk powder, psyllium husk, 1/2 teaspoon each of xanthan gum and sea salt, 6 tablespoons olive oil, and 2 cups of hot water. Okay. So first up, I'm going to make the tortillas. Why? Well, get them all done. They can cool down. It's going to work out better that way. Now, you just saw the ingredients. I'm having the recipe. I'm going to do half the tortillas and then half the tortillas, only because it's going to be easier and I won't need a bowl the size of Ohio. First, our coconut flour. This is the psyllium husk, not the psyllium husk powder. Psyllium husk. That's required for this recipe. The xanthan gum. And the salt. That's all of our dry ingredients. And now we're going to mix it so they're all combined in a very proper way. Yep, this is all our dry ingredients are together. Now the oil. Olive oil. Love doing my Popeye impression. And now the 1 cup of hot water. And you can pour it in all at once. And we're going to mix it up. Let's get it off of this. Okay, here we are. This recipe is actually very easy. I tried several different variations of this recipe. And what would happen is when I would cook them, they ended up cracking every time I went to bend them. That's why the xanthan gum is so important. It helps make your dough flexible. Okay, and now as a ball like this, we're going to put it aside while we do this all over again for the second part of our recipe. Here we go for part 2. The coconut flour, the psyllium husk, salt, xanthan gum, get it all in there. Now we're going to stir it all up so it gets nice and mixed. The olive oil again, and the hot water. So my goal here is to make 8 tortillas. That's going to be 4 each. So I'll be cutting these balls into 4 and making them into tortillas. And we're going to knead this again. Just make sure it gets nice and together. It gives the xanthan gum a chance to work its magic. Make your dough nice and flexible. Put that in there. Okay. Our second dough ball is ready. Okay, now we cut these into 4 equal pieces. I mean, as you know, as close as you can estimate. You don't have to weigh it. I'm not going to. And now we have 8 of these that we're going to roll into a ball. That's 1. Just roll them into a ball here. Yes. Some of them are bigger than others. That's okay. It's only by a little bit. These are all rolled into approximately equal balls. Now let's get out the induction heater and get ready to actually make these tortillas. Okay, our pan is heating up. I have my tortilla maker here, and of course the balls right here. Now I just put a little dab of oil on this. When you don't want to put too much oil in your pan, just a light coating. Otherwise, these will come out crispy, and we don't want that. All right, so that's oiled up. And now if you don't have a tortilla press, you can use a rolling pin and parchment paper. I'm just being fancy. Actually, I've had this, so I wanted to use it. Cover it with a parchment paper circle. Cover it over and press. I'm holding it down. Let's see how it looks. There we go. There's our first tortilla flat. Let's take that little extra off and into the pan. Now this is going to go for, well, the instructions say 2 or 3 minutes. I watch it though, because it can be done faster. I wait till I see the edges start to turn brown. While that's going, I'm going to press another one because it's fun. So let that keep going. There we are. Press this one. There we go. That's what we're looking for. We want this kind of brown on the other side now, and we'll be done with our first one. And these others are probably going to go faster now because this is up to heat. Okay. This one is done as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our last tortilla. Okay, the last tortilla is just about done. When it's done, it's going to go on top of the other ones. I'm going to cover it with a towel, and then we're going to make the filling for our enchiladas. Wait, I'm making all this deliciousness, and I almost forgot food facts. An enchilada is a dish where you take corn or flour tortillas and wrap them around a filling and drench them in a savory sauce. And you can fill them with anything: meats, cheese, beans, potatoes, vegetables, or any combination thereof. Enchilada sauces vary. They can include chili-based sauces like salsa roja, also moles, tomatillo-based sauces like salsa verde, and various cheese-based sauces. Enchiladas did indeed originate in Mexico, invented most likely by the Aztecs who lived in the Yucatan region of Mexico. Enchilada is the past participle of the Mexican Spanish word enchilar, which means to add chili pepper to, and literally it means to decorate and season with chili. As I said, the enchilada did originate in Mexico, where the practice of rolling tortillas around food originated with the Aztecs, who were actually living in the lake region of the Valley of Mexico, and they were actually regularly using tortillas wrapped around small fish. Enchiladas are very similar to the Mayan dish papazules, traditionally dipped in pumpkin seed and rolled in chopped boiled egg and smothered in tomato sauce. Yeah, this was a dish reserved for nobles and special occasions. What kind of special occasions? What do you mean? We can't have enchiladas unless it's a special occasion? It's 1:30 in the afternoon, my wife's out of town. Special enough. Spanish conquistador, I love saying conquistador, Bernal Diaz del Castillo wrote of a feast he attended hosted by New World explorer Hernan Cortez in Cucoyan, Mexico. What did it feature? food wrapped in a corn tortilla. And speaking of conquistadors, I got to say that word again, enchiladas became very popular with them because they were simple and versatile. The enchiladas, not the conquistadors, yeah. They were easy to make and eat during long marches. By the way, the Aztecs spoke Natal, and the name for tortillas was Tixcali. And the name for enchiladas was chalapali. In 1821, when Mexico declared its independence from Spain, Mexican culture and cuisine was already beginning to form, and quite frankly, enchiladas was as close as they had to a national dish. Enchiladas were mentioned in the first ever Mexican cookbook, El Cocinero Mexicano, the Mexican chef, in 1831, and then again in 1845 in Mariano Galvan Rivera's cookbook, Diccionario de Cocina. When Texas, California, and other southwestern states were annexed by the United States in the 1840s, Mexican cuisine and enchiladas were introduced and gained popularity in the American Southwest. It wasn't until 1876 when an American cookbook featured a recipe for the enchilada, and that was in the Centennial Buckeye Cookbook. One of the earliest English language recipes for enchiladas in 1914 appeared in the California Mexican Spanish Cookbook by Bertha Hafner Ginger. In the 1920s, restaurants in the American South started actually serving enchiladas despite some anti-Mexican sentiment in some areas. When enchiladas started off as a street food, basically you would just take the tortilla, fold it, and dip it in a sauce and eat it without a filling. Today, there are literally hundreds of varieties of enchiladas, and they're all mostly differentiated by their sauces. Speaking of varieties, here's some varieties of enchiladas. First, we have the enchilada con chile rojo. This is very, very traditional, and its red sauce is actually made with meat and chili soaked and then ground into a sauce. There's the enchilada con mole, made with mole. Oh yeah. This is also called enmoladas. Enchiladas placera, made with vegetables and poultry. Enchilada poblanas, that's a soft corn tortilla filled with chicken and poblano peppers and smothered in Oaxaca cheese. Enchiladas potosinas, oh yeah, this is made with cheese-filled chili-spiced masa. Oh, I love masa. Enchilada San Miguel, these are made with guajillo chilies, and the chili flavor is seared into the tortilla. Enchiladas Suiza, this is Swiss style, topped with a milk or cream-based white sauce like a bechamel. The Swiss introduced this to Mexico when they immigrated. Enchiladas Montadas. Now this was actually introduced from New Mexico, and this sounds great. This is a stacked enchilada. Baby. And now it's time for enchilada and tortilla trivia. May 5th is National Enchilada Day. It's also Cinco de Mayo. Let's bring back the baracas. Tortilla comes from the Mexican word torta, which means round cake. Tortillas are traditionally made from maize, corn. They can also be made from flour. I'm making mine from almond flour, to lessen the carbs. And finally, the average Mexican family of 4 consumes up to 2 pounds of tortillas each day. And that's Food Facts. Okay, first up, we're going to chop a 1/4 cup of red bell peppers. The recipe also calls for a 1/4 cup of diced white onions, but I already had those from when I did tacos, so lucky me. There you go. That's our 1/4 cup. Now we're taking 2 tablespoons of butter, putting it in the pan. We'll save these for breakfast. I'm going to chop my cilantro. In goes the red pepper. And the onion. Okay, we're going to cook this until, the recipe says until it's soft. When we're sauteing, probably be about 3 to 5 minutes. Now in goes the cilantro. the salt, the chili powder. Oh, it's getting nice color. The lemon juice. Sorry, the lime juice. Stir that all in nicely. Now, I put in the shrimp. And it's still a bit frozen because it's cooked, but we're gonna mix it in so it gets a little bit softer. It really cooled off the pan. That's okay, that means it's absorbing the heat, so we're just gonna keep on mixing this. The shrimps are defrosted now. So I'm gonna turn this off. Now we're gonna make our sauce. Okay, here is the salsa verde. The half cup of heavy cream. That cream is very heavy. Okay, the sauce is ready here. All right, this is where we get down and we get dirty. Take some of that filling and we're gonna roll it into our tortilla. There we are. Here we come with 3. Yum, this looks so good. Glad I made 8. This is gonna should fill up the whole tray, which is good. By the way, the oven is preheating to 350 degrees. And you want the roll side to be down. So the seam of this is down. And we have one more, which I'll put here. And of course the last one is the one I break, but okay. Okay, so we have all that there. Now we still have some filling left over. This isn't in the instructions, but I'm going to put it all over like that. Here we are. Now let's mix up our sauce. All right. And our Monterey Jack cheese all over the top. That looks great. And the oven is at heat at just the right time. All right, into the preheated oven. Here we go. For 20 to 30 minutes, I'm gonna go, well, let's split the difference, 25. And we are done. I've made homemade shrimp enchiladas with homemade low carb tortillas. I thought it was going to be really, really hard. I always think these recipes are going to be hard because I am not a trained chef. I'm not. I'm doing this from recipes and now 7 years in I have a little bit more experience, but man, I didn't think this was going to be as good as it was. It looks fantastic. Of course, it's low carb. It's decadent, and it's staring me in the face, and I really, really have to taste it. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Wow. That is just outstanding. It's creamy, it's cheesy. I taste the cilantro, it's wonderful. I taste the garlic, of course the cheese and the shrimp. I love the shrimp. And the tortillas, you would never know that they were low carb and homemade. Oh, they taste terrific. They're soft, they're tender, they're pliable. This is just about perfect. Oh man, all I can say is muy delicioso. Yeah. Yeah, you'll learn Spanish if you make Mexican food. It's true. Wow. Yeah, I recommend this. Oh my gosh, this is really, really good. And it makes a lot and feeds a lot, and it's gonna make you happy. And that's it for this time around. I'm here again in another 2 weeks with yet another episode. And until then, be well, eat good. On the next episode of Off the Cuff, the end is near. Welcome to the season 6 finale of Off the Cuff. And I'm making Indian food, low carb chicken korma and low carb naan. I get a visit from the network president, Mr. Manningham. I'm not afraid of Mr. Manningham. Mr. Mitchell! Oh, Mr. Manningham, sir, Your Highness, Your Majesty. In Food Facts, we do a deep dive into the history of chicken korma. That a version of the dish actually existed in Muggle dishes of the 16th century. No, not Harry Potter Muggle. It's an amazing and delicious way to cap off a season. This is one of the best overall dishes I have ever done. That's on the next episode of Off the Cuff Healthy Cooking with Craig Mitchell. Every Sunday at 7:30 right here on Strong Island Television.